So for this recipe, we'll start by taking the chicken, and for my recipe, I bought a big pack of chicken, but it doesn't really matter how much chicken you use. It matters on how many people you're going to be serving. So I'm going to wash off 4 slices of chicken. Make sure you wash it thoroughly. And then you could just place them on the side. These are actually smaller than I expected, so I might do more. And then make sure you get the skinless, boneless pack. Personally, I like the boneless because it's more easier to break up. But if you like thigh or whatever, then you can get that. You just have to make sure when you shred it, you take the bone out. So, yeah, I'm going to be doing 5 pieces. So then make sure you pat them dry. And you don't put them in the crock pot really wet. Okay, so now we're just going to place them in the crock pot. I like a lot of chicken with my pasta, but like I said, it's your preference, however you like to do it. Actually, I'm gonna just use 4 chickens. Okay, so I'm gonna wash my hands really fast. And if you do buy a big pack of chicken, you can always, if you have extras, just save the rest in a sealed bag and put it back in the freezer and use it for another time. Alright. So now I'm going to go in with my Cajun seasoning. This right here. You can use how much ever you want. It's up to your preference and how you want the flavor. So now we're going to just sprinkle that in there. But don't put too much because you don't want it to be too salty. We're going to go with some cumin. It's not open yet. Sprinkle some cumin in there. Not too much, but not too little. I'm gonna go with my pepper. You can choose to use the pepper you grind, or you can use this type of pepper. It doesn't matter, it tastes the same. And then you're gonna go in with your garlic salt. And then a tad of a little bit of seasoned salt. Okay. And then just a little more Cajun, just a little bit. I like mine to taste like it's from New Orleans. So then I'm going to add, you need 5 tablespoons of butter, stick butter. So, and make sure you don't buy any cheap butter. This right here was $3. As long as it's not $1, like the Imperial butter, that butter is not good. So make sure you buy a good butter. It could be unsalted or salted, it does not matter. So then we're gonna just add the stick of butter. So put that in there. So now you're going to add your bell peppers. You need 1 whole bell pepper, red, cut and chopped. It doesn't matter how big your pieces are. And then you're gonna use a whole green bell pepper, chopped. I like mine a little smaller because when I'm eating pasta, I don't want to eat big chunks. So you're gonna just spread that around. Take the green one, spread it around. Make sure you get all of that in there. Don't waste any. Okay. So now you're gonna add the heavy whipping cream. You need heavy whipping cream for this, not milk, not half and half cream, heavy whipping cream. And you need 2 cups of this, but I like my pasta thick and creamy, so I'm gonna do probably 2.5 or 3 cups. That's 1 cup. 2 cups. And then this is a small container, so there's like a little left, so I'm gonna just go ahead and put the rest in there. Add. And then I'm gonna just add a little bit more. You don't necessarily have to have cheese in this recipe, but you can if you're a cheese person. I am a cheese person. Cheese brings the flavor out, so we're gonna just add some cheese. So I put like 2.5 cups exactly. You're definitely gonna need a whole one of these. 1 pint of the heavy whipping cream. Okay. So now you have that going. So now we're gonna start this, and we're gonna put it on 2 hours. So my crock pot only has 4 and 6 and 8 and 10 hours. So I'm gonna put it for 4 hours. And I'm gonna just take my phone and time it for 2.5 hours. So when 2.5 hours is up, you take your lid off, shred your chicken with the fork, and then we're gonna add the pasta shells. You could buy any type of shells. I like these shells, and they were the only ones available at the store. It doesn't matter. And then you add your cheese, the cheese of your liking. So I got 2 of these. 1 is going to be to put in here, and then 1's going to be to sprinkle on top of the pasta when it's done. You can get a Monterey Jack cheese and a fresh mozzarella cheese. So yeah. Oh, and if you like, we have basil. Basil adds a lot of flavor. It takes out the chicken taste in the chicken and gives it freshness. So we're going to just sprinkle a little bit in there. You can see. So yes, let that cook for 2 hours, 2.5 hours. Shred your chicken, and then we're gonna add the pasta shells. So as you guys can see, it's been an hour. It's been 2 hours. So we're just remaining 30 more minutes that has to cook. I always add in my cheese right when the 2 hour mark hits. So I added the whole ball of mozzarella, and I just cut it up to make it easier. And then I cut up a whole stick of Monterey Jack cheese. And now I have Parmesan cheese. It's already shredded. So we're gonna go ahead and open that. And you don't have to pour the entire thing of cheese in there. I'm gonna just sprinkle that around. Well, actually, let's see. Well, yeah, I guess I did. So yeah, we're just gonna leave that in there. And then you don't have to stir it. It's gonna melt, and once it melts, then you stir it good. So we're gonna let that continue cooking for 35 more minutes. Okay, so as you can see, my noodles are in there. I already shredded the chicken after I finally hit the 2.5 hour mark. So you can easily shred it with a fork. And then I added just one box of noodles. Like I said earlier, it could be any noodle of your choice. So then you let the noodles cook in the crock pot for 20 more minutes, and then you'll be done. So after you mix that, just stuff it in there and let that cook for 20 more minutes until it gets thick. The noodles are done. this is the finished product. So it should be, well, I don't, you know, if you guys added cheese, it should be cheesy. Mine is very cheesy. So there we go. Your Cajun chicken pasta. And if you like, you can sprinkle the Cajun seasoning on that we used. I used the Parmesan cheese, so I will sprinkle that on top. If you would like, you can make a side. I made garlic bread. And yeah, thank you for watching. Thank you for watching my video, you guys. I hope you found it really enjoyable, and I hope that you guys